Good morning. Welcome to the great green grandeur of the Granite State. Today we are hiking Mount Washington, and I gotta tell you, this is kind of a holy grail hike of mine, the White Whale, if you will. I'm heading up Huntington Ravine, which is called the most difficult hiking path in the Whites. It's not very long, only about 8.2 miles from top to the bottom, but the elevation gain and the gradient is probably going to be pretty insane. So it's Thursday in mid-July, about 7 in the morning. We just started. We start out on a very well-known trail called Tuckerman's Ravine Trail. They call that the highway of the Whites because everyone and their mother hikes on this trail, and as you can see, kind of looks like a highway. It's like 10 feet across. But soon Huntington Ravine Trail will veer off and we'll start going up there. Sounds like we are already hitting up a waterfall. I think it's called Cascade Falls. Seen it before. I'll probably check it on the way back out. Just try to get past this family. Okay, we'll see you on the slabs. Well, there we are. We're about to attack. Leaving the Tuckerman Ravine Trail, heading off onto Huntington Ravine. Kind of glad leaving the the Tuckerman's Trail. This looks more like an access road for a Jeep or something. Not the best hiking. It's hard to get solid footing. I'd much rather a trail, something that resembles this. On the bright side, being so early in the morning, I haven't ran into any spider webs along these fat trails, so that's a good thing. But let's continue forward and hit and attack Huntington Ravine. So I said before that this was a grail hike of mine, and let me explain. I've been aware of Huntington Ravine Trail for about just under a year now, and it's something that I've wanted to do. I like to push myself. Was attempted once already, and that was a miserable failure. The weather did not cooperate with us at all. I say yes because two friends showed up with me, and we just weren't able to do it. It was way too rainy, windy, wet, and as you will see when we get to the head wall, it's not something you want to approach in wet conditions. Looking at the trail as is, it hasn't rained here in a few days, I don't think, but just being the elevation that we're at, with the humidity coming, things get wet a lot. So hopefully by the time I get to the iffy parts, the sun comes up a little and dries up all the rain. Let's see what happens. So I haven't taken too many videos yet because honestly it's been a little bit disappointing. Got so much fog going on up here and barely get a good 25 yards visibility. Hopefully this clears up when the sun comes out, but I don't know. I'm not holding much faith into that. So it looks like I'm in an area logically called the boulder fields. This is definitely fun hiking area here. This is the boulder fields, is the last obstacle you go through as you approach the head wall itself, which hopefully the conditions are good on the head wall that we can ascend it. But as of right now, everything is so wet. I'm not sure what to expect once we get there, but we still have a little bit of time till that happens. So again, hopefully the sun comes out and helps us. Look at that. Snow in mid-July. I go down there and make a snowball, but I don't know how to get back out. It's been very wet the entire way. Soaked through. It's getting a little cold now, actually. They say these boulder fields usually are cold because you get drafts. There's parts of these boulders that are covering that the sun just never ever hits. That's why we get snow in mid-July. So the air temperature under these boulders, you're probably looking at 50 degrees. Compound the fact that I'm soaking wet, it's a little bit cold. I bet that's a really amazing view if you could see past 10 yards. This is what I'm dealing with. Again, it's pretty aggravating. It's like the mountain spirits do not want me to climb this mountain. The first attempt was an absolute failure, and this has just been not... it's been a little frustrating. It would be nice to see something that the mountain has to offer than just fog and wetness. But here we are. At least the hike itself is fun and challenging. I'll get these boulder slides in Connecticut. I don't know how much further up this thing goes. It's just been non-stop climbing the whole time. And that's what you get when you climb the highest mountain in the Northeast, right? It's just ascent the entire way. I don't think there's been a moment on this hike where I haven't heard water flowing. I got it on both sides of me now. I would like to go explore it, but that's probably not safe this high up. It's probably best to stay to the marked trail, which hasn't been too bad. I heard it gets a little worse on the head wall itself, wherever the head wall is. Hell, I might be right at the foot of the head wall and would never know with this fog coming in. You can't see nothing at all. Hopefully it clears up, but it doesn't appear so at this point. Let's just hope that by the time I get to the head wall, it's not as wet as everything else has been, and we can get a proper safe ascent going. Alright, so we made it to the head wall, and now it pretty much goes straight up until the Nelson Crag Trail, and then that takes you to the summit. I'm not sure how many feet we gain on the head wall itself, but here it is. It's going to be hard to see its intimidation factor because of the fog. The sun's somewhat coming out, but it still has a lot of work to do to eat up all this fog. But yeah, this is the way to get to the top here. It's pretty intimidating. Hopefully it's not all that wet when we get up there. They say the first run of the slab until you get to the a good waiting point is the most difficult. So if you get past that, it should be smooth sailing after that. So I'm going to play around on the first one, see how much danger it is. Hopefully I don't have to turn around, because I don't want to go back the way I just came. That was no fun. It's very wet, very steep, and the markings were okay coming up, but I imagine going back down is probably going to be hard to see. So hopefully this is going to be doable. Let's see. So like I said, I've been researching this trail for almost the past year, just under a year. And, you know, sometimes when you have more information, it's worse than having less information. You get paralysis by overanalysis. It's when I'm researching it, you know, about 60% of the people who do the hike say, like, holy crap, this is how people die doing stuff like this. You know, and the other people say, wow, that was the most fun ever. So hopefully I fall into the latter category. I don't think anyone has ever actually died on this trail. There's been a lot of people who needed to get rescued, because going up is always easier than coming down. It's just, you hope you don't get to a point where, well, you hope you don't get into a situation you can't get yourself out of, really. So far, if that was the first one, that wasn't all that bad. All this fog though, it's kind of hard to see the markers. which that was one of the biggest complaints about the trail, is that the markers are hard to find. And again, from what I read, was not that they're hard to find, it's just that they're placed in the best route, the safest route that you should take, which might not always seem as the most logical route. So people, headstrong people like me, typically just push forward and then realize, oh crap, where's my trail? When they should have traversed it or whatever. So you just really got to approach this as a tactician, because there's a lot of technicality on this hike and we don't want to go down. No sir. Alright, up we go. See, I'm in that situation now where I don't know where the next marker is. It must be this way though. Famous last words. There's the next blaze. So I seem to be close enough to the scrub on the right here that that's going to play in my advantage, because that's going to give me some boulders and these evergreens to grab onto if need be, which isn't the best handholds, but it's better than this slick granite. Hey, look at that. Blue skies. Now, can't see nothing over there for the fog. But that rock structure right there, pretty sure that's called the Pinnacle, which is a pretty good mecca for rock climbers. So those people who have done Huntington and said that's too easy, I need a bigger challenge, they'll go over there and you're gonna need gear, ropes, all that fun stuff. I wish the fog would go away so you get a better look at it. It almost looks like the fog's rolling in. So puts an added urgency to things, right? I gotta beat the fog. No, we're not gonna do anything stupid here. Maybe even just choosing to do the ascent in these conditions is stupid enough, right? So let's not add to our stupidity. So the worst thing about the trail is just the fact a lot of people aren't comfortable with exposure, which I can see that. You know, maybe the fog's playing to my advantage then, so I don't get to see how dangerous this really is. Clear skies, baby. Look at this. Look at this ravine here. Jump down here, maybe we can see the Pinnacle better. Yeah, I think there's that section right over there. Oh man, I'm not a rock climber, but that does look fun. It is rather beautiful seeing the fog creep off the ravine. Wow, man. Makes me regret not doing the hike a little later in the day. I would have caught all this on video. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful day now too. Man, we're above the clouds. I just noticed that. Alright, let's keep pushing forward here. Oh wow. You know, it still looks like I got a lot to go, but gotta keep in mind we're going straight up on this trail, so we should be there in no time at all. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a trail marking in a bit, so hopefully we're on the right path. Huh. Where, oh where are you, trail markers? Alright, let's go. can I grab? That's what I'm grabbing. All right, yeah. Let's go that way. Right into the water. Oh boy. This isn't hard. It's just the consequence factor. It's a heck of a lot more. Oh boy. Big climb. Just a heck of a lot more right here than anywhere else I've been. Oh boy. Where do I go? I don't know where to go. See any markings? This sucks. Come on. Yeah, I'm probably gonna edit this part out of the video. No one wants to see me crawling like a snail. Alright, that was kind of terrifying. The crappy part is, I don't know if I'm going the right way. I lost every semblance of a freaking trail. So let's hope I see one of those trail markers soon. Oh, come on, this must be the trail, right? There's got to be a trail. Ah, bingo. Let's take a break. So the backpack I'm wearing is actually the pack I bring to the gym for my gym bag. And when I packed it, I went ahead and left the chalk that I use to work out with in here, and I've used it. And it was a smart decision to bring it. I don't think it was necessary, but everything is so wet down here. If I can get even a little bit of a advantage, why not take it? I think I'm gonna go to the side of the trail here and climb it this way. Looks to be a little bit better route. Maybe not. Damn it. No worries. Retreat and reattack. All right, this is gonna be this is a good squeeze. My goodness. All right, I'll just shove my foot in here. The guy at the ranger station said a lot of people have troubles here because they bring too big of a pack. I didn't bring a big pack, and the sucker's rubbing more than I want it to. There's people who bring an A-frame or something. That's not a smart move. Sometimes lighter is better.
Look at this white stuff. Oh, it's chalk too. Someone else had a really good idea. I was under the assumption I was the first one on this trail today. But maybe not. Maybe someone experienced that bullshit fog even worse than I did. Alright, where's my markers at? Right there. Ha ha ha! There it is. That's the cairn, top of Huntington Ravine. You know what that means? Hardest trail in the Northeast. Cross off the list, baby. Hey, fist bump. Boom. Good stuff, Huntington. Good stuff. A lot of fun. I don't know if I would call it the hardest in the Northeast. Well, yeah, I probably would. In conjunction with the steepness, the ass pucker factor, and the distance, sure. Definitely not the most dangerous hike in the Northeast. The Precipice Trail in Acadia. It's going to take it's going to take a lot to raise the bar that the precipice set. I thought I was going to die on that one. I only had one or two sections here that were iffy. We are at the top, baby. There's the Alpine Zone in Mount Washington. You see that smoke? That's the Cogway Railroad that brings people up here. See all these cairns leading out that way? That's called the Alpine Garden Trail. Apparently it's a really beautiful trail that leads you to Lion's Head, which is where I'm going to start my descent. But it doesn't take you to the summit, which I made it this far. Might as well, you know, go up there and get to the summit and then head back to Lion's Head. But as you can see, the trail has ceased. You just look for the cairns, whatever, and make your way for them now. And it's just boulders and boulders and boulders. Still on the Nelson Crag Trail, almost to the summit house. This Nelson Crag Trail is for the birds. Can't really go too fast at it at all. Every step has to be planned because it's so, well, it's been like this the entire way. But I'm gonna get a 360. Once we got above the clouds, turned into a beautiful day. You know, juxtaposed to the last time I was up here. There's a slight breeze! This is a pretty beautiful day for a hike. Let's get to the summit. Take a load off. Well, here we go. Back to Tuckerman's. A bit of a shock getting to the summit there. Did 3.5 hours on the Huntington Ravine Trail and saw absolutely no one. I was the only one in the woods the whole way. Then I get up here and there's, gosh, like 200 people. Everyone's standing in line to the summit picture. So let's just fill it back up with water and get right back on the trail. Start going into descent. So we're on Tuckerman's now. So I have to go Tuckerman's to Lion's Head, and then Lion's Head leaps back into Tuckerman's. Lion's Head is a bit of a shortcut, if you will, but it's steeper and it's a lot less traveled because, like I said before, Tuckerman is a highway. Everyone does that because it's a lot less steep. So once we get to Lion's Head, we should probably a lot less people. So found my way to Lion's Head Trail off the Tuckerman's. Thank goodness. I swear I ran into at least 50 people just on that, I don't know, quarter-mile stretch that I was on Tuckerman's before I got into Lion's Head. Craziness. I'm going to try to extend this thing so you can onto the ravine there. That's Tuckerman's Ravine. I hope you can see the snow, but still, there's a big old patch of snow in mid-July. Out there, that little rock formation, that's actual Lion's Head. I guess it looks like a lion. I don't know. Doesn't look like one to me, but you gotta have to open mind, like when you're looking at constellations, I guess. But this is the trail. I've said this so many times, but going uphill is always so much more easier than going downhill. Going downhill, especially on an unsure footing like this, every step has to be so incredibly deliberate. There's so much impact that your knees start hitting you. Probably should have brought some ibuprofen. I'm getting old. I need that kind of stuff. But I'm going to follow this out to there and then hook back up with Tuckerman's at some point and get back to the visitor center. Here's that snow. There's the ravine. Big time skiing area, this Tuckerman's Ravine. Not so much Huntington, but as you can see, who the hell wants to go skiing down that place? That'd be a very fast, like quadruple black diamond, I guess. I'm sure some people do it, no doubt. Just like some people climb it. Alright. Out there in the distance, don't know if you can see it, but that might be the visitor center. You can see the skiing trails on Wildcat Mountain, and of course the fog coming in from the ravine floor. The Hermit Lake is right there in the midst of that fog. And here's Tuckerman's Ravine. Still have snow. Yeah, cool little waterfall. Looks like a 3-tier waterfall out there. Pretty cool. Pretty beautiful. I'm at Lion's Head now. Lion's Head's pretty cool. There's been really no one out here. Past like maybe 5 people. I got about 3 more miles to go. I'll be done with this. Well, there you have it, folks. There's the visitor center. We are done. My All Trails app here says it took me 5 hours and 31 minutes, so 5.5 hours. It says 7.8 miles. I don't know. The map says it's 8.2. I don't know, might be a little bit lost in a discussion there. Not a big deal. But dude in the visitor center said it should take about 9 hours to complete. I don't know. 5.5 hours. I don't know what that guy's smoking. If he's taking 9 hours to do that hike, must be some really good stuff if he's hiking that slow. So don't listen to him, folks. It doesn't take 9 hours to complete that hike. Definitely a lot shorter than that. Let's get in the car, finally sit down after the last 5.5 hours. Okay, so we are back at the parking lot. We are officially done. Yeah, it took 5.5 hours to go about 8 miles. It was 4,200 feet elevation gain, which that's a heck of a lot of gaining right there. Yeah, 5.5 hours. It's saying I had about 40 minutes of non-moving time. I didn't think I took that much breaks, but clearly I did. Or maybe I was just registering, I was going pretty slow on the actual head wall of the ravine, so maybe they count that as slow or non-moving time. I don't know. At any rate, it was about 8 miles completed in that time frame. Probably gonna have to agree that this is the most difficult trail in the Northeast. The most difficult one that I have attempted so far. Not the scariest, like I said before. I'm pretty sure Precipice is going to hold on to that trophy for a long time. I don't know if I ever want to do something any scarier than the Precipice Trail. But this definitely had a couple oh crap moments, at least 2 of them. But still, highly recommended. A lot of fun. Be safe and enjoy the White Mountains.